Okay, so let's check out the Greek of Matthew. And I'm sorry it doesn't have the verses up there. Okay. Uh, this is probably verse 7, somewhere along those lines, or either verse 6 or 7. And I could actually confirm. Let me confirm that with the English. This is the first time you're going to confirm the Greek with the English. Okay, is that? So let's check it out here. Record it. See, because the verses are not there. Okay. They said to him, "Why then?" Okay, yeah, verse 7. Just wanted to confirm that. So you just read it right off the bat, right over here. Anyway, since we're here, may God bless His holy word continuously. So they said to him, meaning they said to Christ, "Why then did Moshe or Moses command to give?" And that's probably an infinitive over there. To give her a certificate of divorce and send her away. All right, that's just it. Wonder where she went, by the way. If it was her fault, I want then I hope she learned her lesson. uh But the thing is, she can't get married again. Okay. If the man divorces, okay, the wife for and this is the thing, for a good cause, for a cause under the umbrella of Parnea, she cannot get married again. Okay, that's just all there is to it. That's the role that she's playing. She's playing the believer in marriage, whether she likes it or not. And that's the thing: is a woman going to accept that? First of all, the teachings of Christ. You understand? That's number one. Number two. Okay. Is she going to submit herself? Forget about her husband for now, but just to Jesus' teaching. And if she doesn't, well, then she's a fraud. And it goes both ways. They said, okay, legusin actually, okay, lambda epsilon gamma, omicron upsilon sigma iota nu, and that's present indicative active. They said, or they say. So it could be continuous. Sometimes the present tense to him. Okay, now it's auto in the dative case. You know the paradigm: autos, auto, auton. Why? And that's the very regular. Why then? And that's un. Why then? Mo'u says, that's a diuresis marker. So don't say mu. Okay, don't say mu. You have to break up that the you have to break up the apparent diphthong. Okay, you have to break it up because of the two dots over the upsilon. Nowadays called epsilon. You understand what I'm saying? Mo'u says is a diuresis marker, so you break up the letters. If it wasn't there, you blend those letters together and it'll make one sound. Did command, okay, and that's an aorist indicative middle. Did command enete lato or enete lata. Okay. Okay. Enete lata and te lamai. This is an oh my word. So is middle or passive in form and active in meaning. Is either double lambda over there? And this is where Mounts really helps out a lot with these constructions. Bill Mounts or William D. Mounts, by the way. Either double lambda in the present. Okay, in the present tense. So this is one of those examples that you can give for the present tense having double consonants. Okay, so you can use this in the present tense. the lexical form always is in the present tense when it comes to verbs. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's just the deal. Now they have some things in the future. In the future tense, some lexicons, I believe, like Troy Tracker Berry's beautiful small lexicon has the future tense in it, I believe, also. Ente la mai. Now, and that's the command to give, and that's do nai. You see the nai there, the new alpha iota formation, and that forms the, not only you got psi, also you got ain, you got different constructions that will form. Okay, an infinitive. This is an infinitive. Aorist and infinitive active, as a matter of fact. Aorist infinitive active construction, and dunai. Okay, dunai from didomi. From didomi. This is a me verb, like ame. Okay, just like I said. And the nai is forming the infinitive. That's how you know that this is an infinitive, because of the N A I sounding letters. Okay. The new nowadays called ni and alpha iota. And actually it will be ne in modern Greek, but it's not in biblical Greek. Okay. And it says over here, a role, a biblion. Okay, that's in the accusative case construction. Remember that biblos is a second declension word. First declension word consists of words ending in alpha or eta. And second declension words are words ending in omicron, nowadays called omicron. And third declension words are words that end in a consonant. Okay. A roll or a bill, okay, biblion, not the whole book was thrown at her though. Okay, so what I'm saying. So beta, iota, beta, lambda, iota with the acute marker, and omicron and nu. Just in case you don't know what the acute marker is, the acute marker is an accent marker. Okay, so you pronounce, you raise the pitch of your pronunciation of the word right then and there. Okay, so biblion, biblion. Okay, not biblion. No, because the acute marker is not on the first syllable. So the acute marker looks like a hand on an analog clock. You know, the old-fashioned clocks. You still have them nowadays anyway. You're never going to get rid of those because they make a lot of money selling those. Those kind of watches still today. It's like the hand on just the hour hand on the 7, if you will, or whatever hand. Could be the minute hand, could be on the 7, and it could be, I don't know, it could be 1:35. You understand what I'm saying? In the morning or in the night. So it's just a line pointing to 7 o'clock, like on a clock. And the grab marker, when you go down in accent, okay, you drop the pronunciation, okay, that will be pointing to 5 o'clock on a 5 or 4 o'clock on an analog clock. You understand what I'm saying? A roll or a bill, okay, of divorce, and that's in a genitive case. Probably the case of description. You got to eliminate all the uses to see if it matches. You know, it's not the genitive of time. It's not the partitive genitive. It's not the genitive of a place, right? So it's not the genitive of possession. It's not the genitive of relationship. So you kind of deduce it like that. You eliminate the cases that the uses of the cases, that's the riches of the cases in Greek. You eliminate those. Some are very obvious. You don't have to eliminate anything. Jesus came. Nicodemus came to Jesus by night. You don't have to eliminate anything. That's the genitive of time. It's just so easy. Of divorce. Okay, so of divorce is apostasiu, apostasiu, apostasiu. Okay, apostasiu, and from the Greek word, from the lexical form apostasian, apostasian. Okay. And then you have the word "and" there in English, translating "kai." Now they pronounce "ke." I'm not gonna really talk on this word so much because it appears so much and it could save us some time. So when you see kappa, alpha, iota, or K, like a KAI, it could be translated in both. Also, according to the context, even, and. It's a copulative connective. Is a linking word. It's a conjunction. Okay. Aula, to pronounce it like that, not to tickle the fancies of some religions and religions and false religions and sects. Aula actually is stronger than this one. Is stronger than Kai in the context, in some context. And it doesn't even appear in John 1:1c like in car. You understand what I'm saying? But the word wasn't God or something like that. It's not even there recorded. Okay, it doesn't say, but the word wasn't God. In the beginning was a word, and the word was with God, but the word wasn't God. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that all across the board. In the prologue, as a matter of fact, in the Bible, the complete Bible. You understand what I'm saying? Both Old and New Testaments. So that's it with the Greek word kai. I'm not going to mention it again. I'll mention it, but I'm not going to go through it. To send away. To send away. And that's to send away is another infinitive. An infinitive is a verbal noun. Okay? A verbal noun. So that's just a deal. Now, to send away. Okay? Apalu. Psi. And the psi, that's an aorist. I don't even have to look at the top. Okay, I'll look at the top anyway. A and A. The psi there is the infinitive morpheme for the aorist infinitive here. Okay, psi. So active for the aorist infinitive active construction. The psi is the coup de grace and the key. Psi. You see, you have all these different morphemes in the infinitive. When you're dealing with prepositions, you only have a handful of those. You got to remember all seven, but some blossomed from basically three. You know, you got the masculine, and then you got the feminine coming from those. So I guess you can say that participial morphemes are like Eve triplets. They're the ribs that come out of the masculine forms. It's that. That's just the deal. To send away. Okay, to send away. Apalusai. Okay, from apaluo. Okay, apaluo. If you just want that word without the preposition, it'll be luo. To send away. Let's continue to look at the Greek here. Okay. He says, and that's in the present indicative iota. The present indicative active construction. Lege, and that's third person, obviously, because of the iota. Okay, nothing sigma iota will be the personal endings, the primary personal endings for the paradigm there, and then and then the plural will be mente and then unsi. Some people use the connecting vowels to teach it as one, just as a single combination. I mean, you got the omega, uh, omega ace a amen eta usi. So people teach it like that. Some people teach it like that. He says, okay, lege, lege. You see the cube marker again in the first syllable? Lege, not lege. You see? Very important in Hebrew also, the pronunciation to the Hebrews. To them, and that would be obviously in the dative case, the case of interest. You understand what I'm saying? As a dative masculine, third person plural, so that'll be altois, from the altois side of the paradigm. You understand? And then this ahati is not translated. Moses or Moshe in the Hebrew, Moshe over here in the Greek is mo'u says. Now this word inflects though. Mo'usain, that's another construction. So unlike dozens of names found in the what? How many generations were there? 42 generations written and recorded in Matthew chapter 1. Ah, some of the names do not inflect. The most of the names do not inflect in that genealogy of Joseph there. But Moses' name does inflect in the Bible. Mo'usain or Mo'useis over here. And Mo'useis is in a nominative case construction. Moses, Moshe in Hebrew. In view of the, and that's pros. Okay, in view of the pros, attain sclera cardian, and that's two words in one. You got sclerosis of the heart here from this double play of Greek. Okay, so sclera cardian. You got cardia over here for heart, and you got the word where we get sclerosis or hardening out of this Greek word, the first Greek word. Okay, hardening of the heart. I made a participle out of it, but you see the deal. Hardening of the heart. It's not a verb. It's actually a noun form. Accusative feminine singular construction. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just the deal. The hardening of your, probably going to say over here. Let me see. I see of you all, who moan. See, of you all. Not the hardening of their hearts only, but the hardness of y'all hearts. You understand what I'm saying? Huh? Jesus doesn't just stop at the people from the past. He's saying, you kissers right in front of me. You understand what I'm saying? Your hearts are hard. And Moses dealt with somebody with a hard heart. You understand what I'm saying? They actually died of a hard heart, actually. Pharaoh. He hardened his heart. And then just God finished the deal. You understand what I mean? Finish the deal, that's all. If you harden your heart against God, well, then he's just gonna cap it off. That's all. It's not that him causing you to be hard and stupid and lazy and dumb. You understand what I'm saying? Lazy because you don't want to pick up the cause of Christ. Okay? Stupid because you bend down your ear to read other books but you don't read the Bible. Or you don't understand it. You're stupid. I'm saying you in a general sense, you know what I'm saying? Especially to the cults and sects. Okay? You understand what I mean? Of you. Humon, and you know the paradigm, humes, humon, humin, humas, and this is in the genitive plural construction. The singulars are su, su, soy, say. You understand what I'm saying? Allowed, and that's in the aorist indicative active construction. Okay, pe trepsin, and you see the sound of the sigma there in the psi, and then the obvious epsilon here, forming what scholars call the first aorist construction. First aorist. This is in the third person because of the sigma and epsilon. Okay, but the sigma is wrapped up in the accidents of the psi. You can only enjoy the fruits thereof by just listening to it. You understand what I'm saying? I hate to go into that poetry, leave that poetry, and then go into this obvious thing that the psi looks like a trident. It is a trident. Is the weapon in the hand of the false god Poseidon, the god of the sea. Okay, the god of the sea. That's why it looks like a trident. Now, if you know martial art movies like I do, okay, I still love a lot of martial art movies, and some obviously I can't watch because I'm a born again Christian, one of God's people. But the martial art movie that I'm thinking about obviously had this weapon all through the movie, though. Well, not just in the end, and not the Venoms fighting at the end and using these strange weapons. No, everybody used almost everybody, except for a couple of people. Some people, one person used the fan, and then later on he used a ring. And then, but everybody else, the bad gang, the guy who repented from being in a gang, he used the trident. Okay, the triple-edged knife and a stick, the trident. This is the trident. Okay, figure in the hands of the false god. Okay, of the sea, Poseidon. Okay, that's his weapon. That's his trident. You understand what I'm saying? So the psi, just think of it like that. But then, just think of the sounds of the P and an S blended together like a blepso and all this other good stuff, Does a word begin in a psi? Yeah, Psalms. Psalmoi. It begins Psalm, the book of Psalms in the Greek Septuagint. That letter begins the deal. Okay, you can see the psi there, obviously. Okay, it is in a plural, by the way, psalmoi. The iota is making that plural. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, you got the AIA here. Okay, epe, trepsin, and you have the augment there. So you have the augment. Right, it's like our ed, if you will, but they place it in the beginning of an aorist. Sometimes, not all aorists are created equally. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this Greek word here, epitrepso, in the lexicon, because epitrepso, okay. Let me see over here. Epitrepso, it might be a combination of two words over here. Epi, preposition, and trepo. And if that's the case, then the epsilon, the second epsilon, is the augment and not the first epsilon, okay? And the epsilon is not tagged after the preposition, but it is placed or prefixed before the second word, trepo, or in this case, okay, trepsin. Okay. Now, I better hurry up here because my phone is dying out on me. You, it says over here, humin, that's in the dative case. To divorce, and that's easy. That's an infinitive, and that's an aorist infinitive active. That's very easy. Psi, like I said before. And we saw that before. Apalusai, okay, verbal noun, an infinite noun, if you will, infinite word, unlike ain, which is limited. And okay, tas, that's easy. That's from the tus tas ta with an alpha side of the paradigm. That's feminine article. So upcoming word is in the feminine construction. Wives, obviously. Gunaikas, wives. Put away your wives. Let me see. Of you, humon, and that's in the genitive plural. We looked at that already in the paradigm. Okay, from the, and from and the is not there. From is, you don't get from the, but you can translate it like that, from the, from apa, okay, preposition. From the beginning. Now, this is the deal. From the beginning, and that's arches, and that's in the genitive side of the paradigm. Okay, arche, arches, arche with the iota subscript, and that's in John 1:1, and that's probably sprinkled throughout the New Testament. See, I believe Philippians chapter 4, verse 15. John chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2. Don't forget about verse 2. I spoke to a Jehovah's Witness, and he said in the debating campaign that we had, there's nothing like John 1:1. Well, I said to him, and it took me a little time, I don't know why, did you ever read John 1:2? Maybe it was in the rebuttal or something like that, to catch, sometimes you don't catch things in debates. That's the problem. You can score some points, and you're there to score points also. You're there to knock out your opponent completely. But if you can score by giving him a couple of jabs on the nose and stuff like that, spiritually speaking, hitting the stomach a little bit here, weakening the bottom of the tree, and then knock him and chopping him down. Go ahead. That's what Jesus is doing right here. He shut them up, man. He wasn't here to play. There to play. You understand what I'm saying? This wishy-washy Christianity has to vanish, from our sight. It's not serving anybody anything. And I just said, I think in this discussion or study, that over here in the Philippines, man, the churches don't debate the issues for the most part. They don't debate. Man, I'm talking about the churches, the evangelical churches. And we're supposed to debate among ourselves, the Caesarean Council, the Jerusalem Council. You understand what I'm saying? And then outwardly, chapter 9 and chapter 18, I believe, of the Acts of the Apostles, Praxis Apostolon. Not only are we supposed to debate the issue within ourselves, okay, in the inner circle, Caesarean Council started that, the whole ball of wax. That's how, Jesus taught us how to discuss the issues. And that the primary thing that you discuss, okay, you could discuss other things as well, is the deity Christ, who is the person of Christ. Okay? Who do they say the Son of Man is? Or, the Son of Man, who do they say I am? Okay? That's just a discussion. The beginning, it says over here, beginning arches, and that's in the genitive. This is genitive of all time. Genitive of time, very easy. Genitive of time. However, and that's de, post-positive. Not, and that's u, was it, and it is not there. Geganen, that's easy. That's in a perfect tense. Very easy. Some tenses are very easy to just you see it and boom. You got the reduplicating consonant with the connecting vowel epsilon. Okay, that right there is a dead giveaway. Okay, the kappa doesn't need to be there, for it to be so glaring. You know what I'm saying? Like he oraken or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Over there, that's what vocalic reduplication is. It's not even, vocalic reduplication. It's not even reduplicating a vowel. It's not like A, E, A or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just the deal. It says over here, the perfect tense, perfect indicative active construction, okay, was it. Okay, so this is nice to see. Instead of it being an I, A or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Greek word ain. But this is geganen, as this is in the perfect tense though. Okay? Not in the in perfect tense. This is in the perfect tense. Okay? So I was trying to say it's nice to see the was translating something else for a change. That's what I was trying to say anyway. This way. Okay, hutos, and that's an adverb. Julius Armanzi said that the hutas was changed to hutos. They changed the omicron into an omega, and I call that the letter omega. I call, even though it means that something emerged from something else. All these letters have meanings. Sigma means to synchronize. Alpha means rising. Perfect letter to start off the Greek word anastasis. And beta, nowadays called vita. Okay, it means basis or foundation. Like the spinal cord or whatever the case may be. And then gamma, it means like the stem of the plant, of a plant. And so that's perfect to head off, the word Genesis. It's perfect. Theta, nowadays called theta, actually is the first letter in the Greek word theos or theos, right? And that means divine in and of itself. So all these letters mean something. They mean something. Okay? So that's just the deal. Now, so hutos, an adverb. It used to be hutos. What is hutos? Okay? In this situation. Let's see. I say, that's easy. Lego. That's first person. Okay? That's just the deal. Primary active personal ending. Now, and that's de, conjunction. To you, who mean, that's in the dative plural. That, hati. Okay. Whosoever, and that's Haas, the famous Haas. Angelo, do you use Haas to prove the deity of Christ in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16? Yes. Because that wasn't a made-up formula by the Catholics, trying to prove the Trinity. I believe in the Trinity, but I don't believe in fraudulent behavior, especially from the Roman Catholic Church, pressing Desiderius Erasmus to insert it in his Bible. That's fraudulent, man. I don't need that. I got a whole bunch of Trinity formulas spread throughout the entire Bible. I don't need one made up by the Catholic Church. Because, Jehovah's Witnesses could poke holes in it like Swiss cheese. I don't need that. I have a whole bunch of verses that have the Trinity in it. Hebrews 9:14 and verse 14 of chapter 13 of 2 Corinthians. And you got 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 4, 5, and 6. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 4, 5, and 6. I cloned those. That's why it's easy to remember. You understand what I'm saying? And the obvious one in verse 19 of chapter 28 of the Gospel Kata Matthew, you understand? You got that. You got a whole bunch of stuff hanging around of the Trinity. In the Old Testament and in you. Just look at the Greek word haimon. All across the board. Let us make, na'aseh in Hebrew. Okay, all right. Boy, yeah, oh man, that's a subjunctive of exhortation there. Okay, in verse 26 of chapter 1 of Genesis, of Bereshit in Hebrew. Got a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. Lanu. Probably there's a reference to the Trinity. You don't see the number 3, okay, according to the Trinity teaching, until you get into Genesis chapter 18. But you get there eventually. It's just like a train, it's slow, but you get there. You understand what I'm saying? You could swim to California. It'll take a long time, but you'll eventually get there, right? I mean, you just might have to get up and jog, at the end of every, river or lake or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could go around. I mean, it's just, you don't have to get up. If you go around, you could cheat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, whoever has. So yeah, I've got to. I know that the epsilon bled through the omicron, nowadays called omicron. I know that from the other side of the page. I know the epsilon bled right through it. That's why it looks like a beta. Nowadays called theta. Instead, I know that. So Angelo, if it's not theos there, and it's not even theos, it's theta, and you got theta and C-looking sigma, okay, like in car. Angelo, Angelo, it's not even God there. It's has. It's what is that, Ange? It's a relative pronoun. Oh, but that's not. Okay. The JW for you. They don't even know what it is. What you whining and complaining, they don't even know there's a relative pronoun. You understand what I'm saying? But tell the witnesses, tell them, and tell the Muslims, and tell whoever exalts themselves against the teachings of God, the living God, okay, that has here recorded the stuff of God. You understand what I'm saying? Tell them that the relative pronoun and a pronoun means in place of a noun is from the Latin. And it refers back to an antecedent, the ancestor of the pronoun. It refers back to son. It's not isolated by itself, even though there's a new clause and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. It refers back to son, antecedent, man. Joe Biden all over again. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It refers back to son. Don't tell me it doesn't refer back to son, man. You punk. You punk at the tower. Why the punks, Angelo? I mean, we should be so nice. We should be so nice to people. They're not asking me a question right now. They're not asking me the way. They're not asking me politely, Angelo, can you teach us, please? No, they're punks. Because they lead people to shield every stinking time. Man, I had a very bad dream the other day of a person that was in a bus crash, and his soul is going slowly to shield. It was terrifying. I recorded, my dream. I'm like Billy Joe that has the recorder right next to me just in case something comes to me or an idea or whatever the case may be. Not necessarily a song, but anyway, it's just a deal. You know what I mean? I'm not even a Billy Joe fan. Okay. And so the soul was slowly going to shield, man. It was terrifying, man. And then the man in the dream told me, because he saw also the soul really just going slowly down, descending, man, not even going to heaven, not even being present with the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? Just going down. He was in a bad crash, and his soul just got out of his body and went down the shield slowly in a temperature of 10,000 degrees. He didn't have his body with him. That's why he could withstand that kind of heat and pressure. Dodger, you understand what I mean? When that happens every day with Jehovah's Witnesses. They're less than punks. I'm just saying they're worms. Worm Jacob. So if you could call Jacob a worm, why not the people at the tower? Okay? They call us a swine class. I'm just calling them punks. I'm being nice. They call me a swine. And then the people around them, the other sheep, they can't even take communion. It's not only that. It's not only them that don't believe in the deity of Christ, but they don't believe in the Mormon church. You see what I'm saying? That's just a deal. That's it. So what's the deal? So, okay, Ange, I hear you. Calm down. You calm down. You don't believe in an eternal fire and torture. That's why you're not upset like me that your mother just went there, or your father, or your brother or sister, or your cousins and nieces and nephews, or your children. You don't believe in that. But you ain't going to see them ever again. Oh, Angelo, that's kind of, I don't know what to say. Yeah. So shut up. So, Haas refers back to Theul. Pick your choice. There's two Theuls there. Not two gods, but two Theuls. Mentioning of the word God in the genitive case construction. Haas refers back to Theul. And Theul is found twice in verse 15, so that's why I use it. I use it all the time. I'm not going to shy away from it just because someone tells me that it wasn't really Theos in the beginning. No pun intended. You know what I mean? Because we were looking at our case, so genitive of time. In the last verse, I think, was it? I use it all the time, man. It refers back to the antecedents. So it says I win tells you lose. You understand? I know that the epsilon bled right through Omicron, so what? It bled through, so I know that. I can see the ridges right now on the right side of the Omicron. Nowadays called Omicron, those ridges, a line right, basically a horizontal line on the right-hand side and a sort of a horizontal chippy line, if you will, on the bottom side of the Omicron. Obviously, the epsilon bled right through it perfectly. Good gracious. If it was just a little bit to the left of the Omicron, or a little bit being at the right, and a little bit to the right being at the left, on the other side of the page, then the people would have been so tricked and stuff like that, and argue for something that wasn't even there, like the King James only called and checked those dear people at their tower, huh? I'm just saying. So whosoever translates has, and then on is not even translated. It's like the 8 in Hebrew in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. That's not even translated either. So be careful with those two things. Shall divorce, okay, and that's aorist subjunctive active. And the subjunctive is the mood of possibility or probability. All right, and then you see the eta here forming the subjunctive. Okay, I already mentioned one subjunctive anyway. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, there's a subjunctive over there. Okay, instead. And so as the same subjunctive, a subjunctive found and recorded, okay, found and recorded in Mark 9 and Luke 9, I believe. Let us make 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. And even you know what I was talking about. But that's the same Greek word found in construction, actually. Is that what I'm saying? Because I wanted one in the Bible other than the one in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I said, it has to be in the New Testament, the same construction someplace. And when I was reading the English of I think I was either reading it or I remembered that Peter did say something like that, like, let us make. So I said, I rushed it. And I said, let me look at Mark 9 or Luke 9 or whatever the case may be. Where is that at? Okay, so I Googled it up, I think. I said, where does it say, let us make, like that? And it came out that it's the same construction, man, subjunctive of exhortation. So when you're talking to the witnesses, just say to them, well, you know something? The same construction is found and recorded in Peter's lips. He said, let us make. Okay? Now, did he mean let us make or not? Oh, but it's the plurality of majesty. You can hear the doorbell ringing. Come on, man. Get lost, man. So did he use the plurality of majesty when it came to, Peter saying something? And you guys argued that the Greek New Testament wasn't really written in Greek. In the beginning, it was written in Aramaic. Okay, I could argue against that. Okay, the language of the day was Greek. It wasn't Aramaic. Remember, you remember Alexander the Great? He was spreading Greek, not Aramaic. Huh? The Koine Greek was the language of the common people. 300 BC to 300 AD. You understand what I'm saying? That's just it. It wasn't Aramaic. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know evidence of any Aramaic copies that date before the Greek. None at all. Not even one manuscript that dates before, P66. There's a shall divorce, it says over here, shall divorce luce. And again, the eta is forming a subjunctive. You see, that's how you form different constructions. Oh, Angelo, how do you know this is why am I stuttering? Because the fan is cold here in the Philippines in the morning, and the fan is on. I have the fan on, and it says, you have a basketball shirt on, for God's sakes, and some shorts. Not boxers. I'm talking about, real shorts, that you play basketball in. You understand what I'm saying? Good God. And it's cold. Well, Angela, what happened to Anna? I mean, she's not, she's at her mother's, grandmother's house, and she's there because I told my wife to let me have a break with Anna, just like 3 days out of the 7 days, so I can heal. Basically, my arm is getting better, and it's just I'm up there in age, guys. I started this thing in I was going to say 1913. Okay. In 2013. It's already 2025. January 2025. For the record. You understand what I'm saying? That's that's 12 years ago I started this YouTube thing. It's a long time. I started when I was 50, not 50, 47, right? That's a long time ago, man. It was around that time that I started feeling pains and nicks and stuff like that. Well, but 3 score and 10. That's just a deal. What is this? What's that? Wait a second. Anyway, so jump to exhortation apaluce. Divorce. Or shall divorce. Is that what I'm saying? And Tain is there. That's the same article used in front of Theon with an alpha goddess. Found and recorded in, Praxis Apostoloni, actually Apostles, chapter 19. You see, like, verses or something like 37 and like that, 33, something like that. Maybe they're both. You see Thea there with an alpha, and then Theon with an alpha, not an omicron. Okay, sounds the same though. That's the thing. But that means God is there. Okay, so there is a goddess paradigm. So it's something like that. Probably. I never saw the goddess paradigm, so I could probably make it up. Thea. Let me see. Thea, Theas, Thea with an iota subscript, and then Theon with an alpha nu. Like that, nu being the accusative morphine, okay, or form. When scholars say morphine, they're using the Greek word morphe, which is found twice in the New Testament. If you don't count Mark chapter 16, verse verse 12, I believe. Now Mounce has a typo. He says verse 14. But we owe Mouse our Greek lives. Okay, so let them slide. The typos found and recorded and that book and in Greek for the rest of us. We'll just let it slide for now. Because we love them so much. That's what I'm saying. It's Bill Mouse, that is the famous Greek scholar. He is famous, whether he likes it or not. And then he wrote the wonderful book, has several editions. People witching and whining and complaining about the fourth edition because it's a little bit childish here. Come on, man. That's just to teach people, man. It's the basics. It's not beyond the basics, even though he could get through that also and make a beyond the basics, but he don't want to step on the toes of Dan Wallace, Okay. I think if you should sell those books as a companion set. Biblical. Let me see. Basics of Biblical Greek and Biblical Greek Beyond the Basics. Those two things together. Oh, that's impeccable. They should sell it like that sometimes. Just like a package. Well, let's get back to this stuff. Shall divorce. Okay, and then Tain. Okay. The article is called a weak demonstrative, by the way. Maybe because it's size, because it's very flexible. So I could do a lot of things. So I don't think because of his nature is weak. You understand what I'm saying? It's very rich, the article. Wife, okay, Gunaika. That's in the singular there. Okay. Of him, autu. Now I wonder what the Mormon Church teaches over here. Do they say wives? You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful with the Mormon pseudo church. Except the Greek word may. There you go. Let's just land here for a second. May can be used as a negative, okay, but like outside in the indicative, but here. Okay, it's translated except or apart from. You could translate it like that, I believe. Apart from may, spelled out mu and eta. Nowadays called me and eta. Is very, very important to distinguish that. That in modern Greek it will be me, not may, because it got rid of those sounds, the A and the I and the ah. They're very clumsy, That's why it's better said, "Enargino logos que o logos improstoteon que te osino logos." You understand what I'm saying? Behreshit. Haya, not bara. Behreshit haya hadavar. Hadavar hayaim ha-Elohim va-Elohim wa-Elohim. It really doesn't make a difference to me. Haya hadavar. You understand what I'm saying? Haya is translating was. And you can see that in the 1817 and 1880 editions of the Hebrew New Testament. And there, in those testaments, you see that Jesus used Ekyech for himself, according to John chapter 8, verse 58. And nobody can do that except for Yahweh. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Except. Now, this clause, okay, me epi parnea, is not found and recorded. That's why it scares you half to death, half to pieces. Luke chapter, 16 verse 18, and Mark chapter 10 verse 11. I mean, it doesn't have that clause. See, that's why when you see it, you say, what's up? I mean, you can't divorce your wife? But I thought that Matthew 19 and verse 9, this is verse 9. Okay, it has, what's the deal? So the Holy Spirit wants you to put the pieces together. That's all. That's all. This isn't room service Christianity. You have to sweat. You have to work. You have to pray. Not work for your salvation, but you have to work in a Bible study and doing your own Bible study. That's for sure. It's just a deal. This isn't cafeteria Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Now, some cafeterias, now you serve yourself and you put the food on the plate and stuff like that. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about a cafeteria that everything's done for you, man. I remember getting those beautiful bacon sandwiches, okay, in Catholic Charities. I mean, I'm not a Catholic, but I used to work in Catholic Charities, in the refugee department way back in, I say way back, way back in, 2010? 2010 and whatever. I think I worked another year there. As I lose my voice, that's the King James only case. So I better hurry up before I lose my voice completely. Because that cult and sect says that nobody could get sick. I mean, if you're doing a project, if you're translating the Bible or working on the Bible in some one shape or another, Marfe, you see what I'm saying? Well, you ain't supposed to lose your voice or you're supposed to die. Well, what about Richard? Sorry about that. What about that bitch who went in and complaining? The King James only cult and sect. What about Richard Bancroft? Didn't he die during the project? What's up with that? Isn't Gail Riplinger very old and probably feeble and weak and sick? How about that? Well, she's probably, if she's still alive, like 90 years old? Well, maybe she's not so old, She's getting up there. I hope she don't have a bad back. Okay, I hope she don't which ones and complain about her health. You see, you can bitch and whine and complain when you're young and get away with that, but the self-proclaimed apostle, he's not an apostle, but he's self-proclaimed, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, Fred Price, probably using glasses now, probably has a false nose. Come on, man, with this stuff, huh? Just because you have faith to remove mountains doesn't mean you have to criticize people who don't. You understand what I'm saying? That's a gift. The gift of faith. So they're bitching and whining and complain about everybody else, and when they get old, what about that? Oh yeah, but that's the will of God. Yeah, well, come on, man. It's stupid, man. Bitching and whining and complaining about everybody else, man. Oh, nobody has faith. Well, don't you have faith? You're sick. You use glasses? What's the deal? Yeah, but I'm not translating the Bible. Stop, because there's people that you complain about didn't translate the Bible and stuff like that. You complain that they got sick and they died and stuff like that. How about you now? Huh? King James onlyism is the curse of the church. You know what I'm saying? That's just a deal. Wife. Gunaika. And I better hurry up because, this is really, I think I'm at I'm at I have to be at a very low percentage. If it's 1%, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go because it's 1%. I'll revisit this in the future. That's in the data case, by the way, in the future. You understand what I'm saying? Is Angelo Quinones giving glory? No, because it's gonna conk out, and then I'm gonna lose everything. Okay, this is gonna be annihilated. It's gonna be destroyed. Is Angelo Quinones giving glory to God the Father, to the Lord Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Spirit? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. And that means that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were very much alive at the time that Jesus said those words. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up, and please leave your comment on the screen. Take care, guys. I gotta go. Bye. Blessings. Love you guys. Bye. That's it. Okay. Well, what did we learn really? We learned that Jesus gave permission for a husband to put away his wife, not for every cause, but for the causes under the umbrella of the Greek word found in the Greek text, parneia. Okay? That covers a multitude of sins in a negative sense. It really talks about those sins. You understand what I'm saying? So he gave an avenue, okay, to be used by the husband to put away his wife because of the hardening of the heart. Okay? From the beginning, it was not so, but that was the beginning. It wasn't so in the beginning, but it is so, okay? It was so at the time of Jesus, and it is so now because he said except, Greek word may, except for sexual immorality. And there's a clause there that wasn't in the other Gospels. We found out it's in this one, so it has to be respected. Even though it's not in Mark chapter 10, verse 11, and Luke chapter 16, verse 18, it is in Matthew chapter 19 and verse 9. So it has to be obeyed. Who the hell is a Roman Catholic Church who tells people that divorce is wrong? Okay? Or any other cult or sect. If Jesus said something, he gave us permission to do something, that if we want to do it, then we can do it. Because he said so. Except for sexual immorality or me epi parneia. That's telling me that in my situation with Riza, I could divorce Riza because of parneia. But that's not the only thing. I know that in my life I could divorce Riza because she deserted me. She left me. Okay? She just did. So that falls under the umbrella of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 15. So she's guilty all across the board. I mean, I could leave her in those for those two reasons. You understand what I'm saying? So in your life, if you're faced with a very difficult decision, with the very difficult decision of divorcing your spouse, okay, it's up to you. Nobody's forcing you to do it. But you know, because Jesus said that it was okay to do it under those conditions. Okay? You have the green light by the Lord himself. So just take courage that if that's what you want to do, you do have the option available to you. You know what I'm saying? Or this Angelo Quinones giving glory to God the Father through the Lord Jesus Christ and in the Holy Spirit. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. And that means that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were very much alive at the time that Jesus said those words. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up. And please leave a comment on the screen. Thank you so much for tuning in to, okay, the study, Divorce and Remarriage. And this had to do with parneia. May we have peace in our marriages, okay? In our marriage, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Not that you get married a whole bunch of times. I'm just saying. As the church, individual marriages. So what I'm just trying to say is that may we have peace. But if we can't, if I'm for peace and she's for war, well, then the only reason that the only thing that's left up to me is to just for me to do is just to divorce this individual. Not everybody is called to be Hosea. There's no trust anymore between me and Risa to buy it. Now, Quinones, you understand what I'm saying? I can't trust her in my house for nothing. She robs from me. She steals from me. You know, she robbed my cell phone and hawked it in a pawn shop. But that's not enough to put her away. For any cause? No. Not even for those things, as bad as they are. She doesn't talk to me. She used to not talk to me in the room. She pushed my hand away when I wanted to make love to her, my wife. But even that is still not enough. There has to be some kind of sexual immorality based on Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. And Paranea fits her to a T because she committed adultery. I caught her online cheating with a man named Ron. So she committed adultery. And not only that, she may have slept with somebody here in the Philippines before we got married, okay, or after we got married. I forgot about that, about the log incident. About a man coming up to the log where we were seated on for several days. You know, this would happen, like maybe 4 or 5 times. He would come to her, a young man would come to her and say, come on, let's go. And she will pick up and leave with him. But you have to understand the culture of the Philippines is to leave with another boyfriend or another man who's not a husband. There's a multitude of beds, okay, here in the Philippines. You understand what I'm saying? Even a woman but talked to me from a store and said, Angelo, you know, let's get to know each other, you know, like that. And I was married to Teresa at the time. I said, no, I cannot do that. You know, I mean, I'm married. I'm a married man. Oh, no, I was joking. I was just joking, Angelo. Yeah, but please, give me a break. You know what I mean? I mean, get to know intimately. Get to know me and just get to know each other, Angelo, like that, intimately though. You know? Well, I mean, you know, I have to go, guys. But I hope you learned something in the study that God is a very practical God. Yes, from the beginning it wasn't so, but unfortunately, okay, you know, but unfortunately that's the case. May we make wise decisions, okay, that's going to affect the lives of our present spouse, ourselves, and if we have kids, our kids, and the 2 families that are involved in this thing. In Jesus' name, amen.